Esker Ma Ahula Dunya, how are you? It's good to be back with the Hands Up for Trad afternoon show to celebrate the launch of the 2021 MG Alapa Scots Trad Music Awards. It's been all go in Loch Lomond this summer. The dolphins have been swimming in the loch and the flowers have been blooming in our many gardens. Also, I'm now learning Gaelic, so be prepared for some new words and phrases from me. You also notice that I've been decorating, so I hope you like it. I hope it's to your taste. It's kind of retro, but I'm quite happy with it. Now, remember, before we go, and some of you have started already, remember to share the show with your friends and tell us where you're watching from. A special hello to Philip McHenry, who's already eaten his first mince pies of the season. I'll be following you quite soon there. Anyway, please welcome our guest today. What am I trying to say? Guitarist Michael Bryan and fiddler Ross Cooper. Welcome to these guys. Congratulations on your nominations. Are you having a good day today, Mike?
I'm having a thoroughly excellent day. I had breakfast of streaky bacon, French toast, and some really badass maple syrup, and then quite an extensive grooming session. So yes, I'm having a fantastic day, thanks.
Can you beat that, Ross?
Not really. I just finished hanging up some pictures that I've been meaning to do for months. So I'm pretty happy about that. But it's not as exciting as bacon. I didn't have any bacon yet, but the day is young.
Yeah, you're making me quite hungry, actually. I wish someone would bring my food. Where's my food? Anyway.
Yeah, I can see if I can send Elvis up. Maybe send Elvis up to you, Simon, but he's fairly inert at the moment. But
anyway, before we get going and get having a good chat, and you can see the way it's already going to go, we are going to play a clip of Lewis McLaughlin's nominated trad video of the year. It's his song called Summer.
Summer and the weather is fine. Summer and the weather is fine. Anyway the wind blows, that's the way that it feels. Summer and the weather is fine. Problems over worried man. Problems over worried man. Resting on your shoulder, leave until you're older. Problems over worried man. Summer and the weather is fine. Summer and the weather is fine. Anyway the wind blows, that's the way that ever flows. Summer and the weather is fine. Wait until the sky turns blue. Wait until the sky turns blue. Sunrise it will cover you, sisters and your brothers too. Wait until the sky turns blue. Summer and the weather is fine. Summer and the weather is fine. Anyway the wind blows, that's the way that ever flows. Summer and the weather is fine. Worries will all fade away. Worries will all fade away. If you find a lover, take it undercover. Worries will all fade away.
Yeah, great, eh? Such a cheery video.
It is.
So, anyway, Mike, you're first. How does it feel to be nominated in Music Tutor of the Year?
Surprising. Surprising, humbling. Perhaps gratifying. It feels good. It feels good. Thank you very much, everyone.
Tell us how you actually got started playing music.
Ooh, how I got started playing music? Well, my mum sent me for classical violin and classical piano lessons when I was 7 or 8 years old. So yeah, and then up until about the age of 12. So I probably did that for 3 or 4 years. Practiced quite hard. Joined the Spectrum Junior String Orchestra, where I first came across Adam Sutherland, although he was playing first violin and I was playing third violin, so we didn't hang out much. But yeah, that was how I got started. About 15 years ago, something like that.
And who were the first tutors that made a difference to you?
The very first one would have been a lovely old Polish guy, my violin teacher, called Alek Sikorek. He was very old school. It was very disciplined. You definitely had to practice whatever you'd been asked to practice for next week. And I didn't, it wasn't until much later in my life, I guess, I would have appreciated all the kind of skills that classical discipline plus the playing in an orchestra thing, and just the way you go about making music in that environment, how much it helped me. And then when I sacked off all that, and fell in love with Nirvana and Neil Young, would have been two tutors at Face Ross, Terry Small and Jim Hunter. So that would be the first one.
What about you, Ross? Who was your first tutor?
My first tutor was a woman called Bernadette Porter. I went for a couple of years, was it 4 years or something actually, at Bray High School in Shetland. And Bernadette gave me lessons there for a short time, and then I moved school to where my mum was the fiddle teacher, Margaret Robertson. And she was my teacher all the way through school. And then I came south and I got lessons from like Ian McFarlane at Plotton, and then Katrina MacDonald at university.
So, I mean, it's interesting, actually. As someone who tries to teach his own children music and finds it absolutely impossible because they just ignore you, both of your parents are musicians and music teachers. I mean, how did that work, Ross? Did you do what you were told?
Well, if I didn't do it, I was told because it was my mum. She had a bit of license to give me more of a bollocking than any of the other students. So, but no, it was actually fine, and she was really good at just kind of treating me the same as everybody else. Like I was left my own rope. You know what I mean? She would tell me to practice the same as probably most parents, but she didn't sort of battle it into us. It was just go and practice, and I really enjoyed playing in the house and sitting learning tunes off CDs and all that stuff. So I don't know. I think in the beginning I was a harder student than I was at the end. Kind of fell in love with the playing of it and all that. So,
Mike, did your mum teach you?
Yeah, she did. It's funny, just all the subjects we've discussed over the years, Ross, this has never come up, but yeah, I think there's a lot of parallels there. My mum did teach me. It was maybe in a slightly less formal sense, in that my mum was the high school music teacher at Ullapool High School. She wasn't teaching me, directly one-to-one instrumentally or anything like that. But yeah, I guess by the time I got to high school, I'd seriously fallen in love with just with the guitar, and like what you were saying, Ross, I wasn't needing any encouragement. I was sitting playing along with CDs. Well, no, it wasn't CDs. Tapes I'd recorded off the radio, I suppose, or purchased from our price. So yeah, I wasn't needing prodded or anything. But yeah, Mum was always extremely encouraging. And if I'd go to her with a chord sequence I couldn't figure out or whatever, she would help me, and then we would get to use the music room for my rock band rehearsals at lunchtime if we needed, and things like that. So she was definitely an extremely helpful and a very positive influence in lots of ways that I didn't realise till much later on.
Amazing. Well, Mike, I think we're going to watch a video of you in action here. Actually, it's a video of you teaching in action. It's pretty good, and you actually might recognise the other guy here. Today I'm with Professor Michael Bryan, or as he's also known,
Dr. Cards.
Yo, thank you, Simon. I am here today to give a brief insight into basic chords and chord progressions that can be used when accompanying traditional music. So, let's start with a very basic 1-4-5 progression in the key of A major.
So what are these chords, Mike?
Well, these chords would be 1 A, 4 D, 5 E, all major. 1, 4, 5, 1.
Brilliant, Mike. And actually we should say, Mike, although we don't have a note on screen, that you have just got yourself a new website. And if anyone is wanting to find out more about the 1-4-5 in that video and the guitar chords, what is the website called?
The website is Michael Bryan, BRYAN.biz. michaelbryan.biz. And there's not... The content on the website is a work in progress. Having just received this nomination, I'm kind of trying to make up for 20 years of actively avoiding any kind of self-promotion. But yes, I have a website, michaelbryan.biz. It has a contact form that works. So, please, if you want to know 1-4-5, we can cover 2, 3, and 6 as well. Then, yes, Dr. Cards is your man.
Excellent. I want to give a wee shout out to the other nominees in the category. In no particular order. Well, it is actually, to be honest, it's alphabetical. Imogen Bowes Ward is a fiddler who teaches down in the Sage in Newcastle and all over the place. Isla Ratcliffe, fiddler who has been working on D, works with Scots Music Group and is now in Edinburgh. She's a fiddler and also just a semi-finalist at the BBC Radio Scotland Young Traditional Musician Award. We have Mike himself, and we have Craig Muirhead, who is the director of piping and drumming at Strathallan School. And actually, Craig was a semi-finalist in the BBC Radio Scotland Young Traditional Musician Award many, many moons ago as well.
Yeah.
I want to give a wee shout out to everyone who's commenting. I don't know, guys, you can see the comments as well on your screen. Hello to Philip. Should be at your top right. Philip, who we mentioned the mince pie of the season. Oh, there's Mike. He's commented. There's John from a soggy Northumberland. As near as we can get without being in Scotland. There's Marianne from Massachusetts. There's somebody who says, want to become famous? Buy followers and viewers on bigfollows.com. There you go. Thanks for watching in, NT Shelby. Laura TikTok, who's working but's got in the background. Hello, Agus Feskermat. I can understand that now. And who else? Gail Smith. Nice to hear you, Gail. There's Brian O'Hara, also nominated in Album of the Year with their fantastic album. And then there's John Robert Bowie, who says, Michael Bryan, nice.
What a lovely message.
Nice. Welcome to Jazz Club.
So, Ross, you are nominated with your guitar-playing brother Ryan for the album Andendi Made Tea. How did this album come about?
It's just something, we spoke about it for years, really, just around Christmas when we would all kind of get together, and there's always tunes in the house, and so and over the years we just get to kind of know each other's playing inside out, and we're like, we should record something, and it was just never happening. I wasn't home for long enough, or he was too busy with his work or whatever, or having children. He's got 3 kids now, so yeah, so it just never happened. And then in lockdown, just kind of went, hang on, we've all got tons of time. So I went home actually for, in total, I think it was 5 months. And so we just took some time out at the end of last year, and we did a few days in the studio and recorded this album.
So you record? Where did you record it in Shetland? Was it the Mareel by any chance?
Yeah, it was in Mareel Recording Studios, which is a great facility if anybody's looking to record in a. I mean, it's in the town, but Shetland, as you both know, is pretty remote and pretty relaxing. It can be relaxing, can be mental. But yeah, we were in the Mareel Recording Studio with the great Tim Matthew engineering for us. So, yeah.
Oh, that's great. And how long, after all these years, to get to recording it, how long did it take you to make it?
I think we put in 2 days to begin with in the studio, and then we booked a third day, I think. I struggle to remember now, but I think it was about 3 days to get the tracking done, and then a bit of mixing. And our sister, Marianne, who lives in Orkney, she's on the last track. And so she recorded her little bit in the school that she works in Orkney. So they did like a remote recording. And that track has actually got an archive recording of my granddad, Lel Robertson. He starts it off with an old version of this great old Shetland tune. And so we kind of bled them together.
So do you come from a musical family, Ross? I know your mum's obviously a player, but does that go back a bit?
Yeah, fiddle playing goes back generations in the family. So my mum learned from my granddad, and then him from his dad, and so on and so forth. And my dad also plays the fiddle. He doesn't play very often these days, but he does play the fiddle. That was his first thing. And then he does singing and plays the guitar, and he writes songs. He writes very funny songs in the Shetland dialect. So yeah. He's well known up there for that, and every Christmas he'll get the fiddle out and play like he's never put it down. It's quite amazing, actually. If I don't play for a couple of weeks, I'm like, right, what's this thing? But yeah, he just picks it up, no bother.
Well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to watch you and Ryan playing a set of 3 reels. I think I only know 2 of them. Marie Claire from St. Olaf Street. Is there one missing from there?
Oh, Marie Claire is the first tune, yeah, and St. Olaf Street is where we recorded it. So, yeah, Marie Claire. And then the second tune is Lorna's Reel by the great Willie Hunter. And then finishing off with, I think, one of my favourite tunes, my favourite Tommy Peoples tune, and it's called, Beautiful Gore Tree, that's what it's called.
Excellent. My goodness, you're sounding good.
Faster than usual.
Let's find it. Shall we try again?
Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Fantastic.
Yes. Thanks.
And of course, that video reminds us that it's not long to Christmas.
Yeah. Get the tree up.
Actually, I have a question for our viewers at home. How many baubles were on Ross's Christmas tree there? Answers in the comments, please.
Of course, I know the exact answer.
Right, so I should mention all of the nominees in the Album of the Year, sponsored by Burnham CD, and of course as well the Music Tutor of the Year. The Trad Awards exists because of its sponsorship, and it's sponsored by MG Alapa, the main sponsorship. But every award category is sponsored by someone, and we're very, very lucky because it wouldn't happen without them. And as I say, Music Tutor is sponsored by Creative Scotland's Youth Music Initiative, and Burnham CD have sponsored the Album of the Year from the start. And congratulations, Jennifer Port. She thinks there's 181 baubles on the tree.
Correct.
But we should name all of the Album of the Year nominees. It's And Dandy Made 2 by Ross and Ryan Cooper, first because of alphabetical order. Cairjas by Brian O'Hara and Fiona Niconich. Gale by Rachel Walker. Live Wire by Mick Lear. Mame by White. Milestone by Duncan Lyle. Orkney Monster by The Chair. Still Time by Karen Matheson. The Light of the Moon by Noss. And Where the World is Thin by Chris Dreamer. Actually, an excellent representation from our most northerly islands in this Album of the Year.
I had to listen to your podcast today with all the things. Some great stuff in there, man. Awesome.
It's fantastic. Yeah, we should give that a shout out if you'd like to hear all the different albums. I made a podcast yesterday with the top 10 albums. Great, as Ross says, just amazing. We're so lucky in Scotland. The quality of the musicianship is just amazing. Anyway, I just wanted to talk, Mike, about, all music. You're all music tutors. Ross is a music tutor. Everyone has done their teaching over the year, but all music tutor nominees are all performers. We love performing. We love being on a stage and projecting our music out. What's it you love about performing, Mike?
What do I love about performing? I think, and it probably, in fact, it goes back to my orchestra days, and I remember just playing. I was probably playing like duh like that on third violin, but a whole bunch of other people were in this orchestra. Were playing is it the Ode to Joy? La da 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 da, and I must have been about 8 years old or something. And I remember just getting the kind of like hair standing up on the back of my neck and looking around and going like, wow, yeah, this is amazing. And I think, just the feeling for me is just like the feeling of making music with other people. And then when you're performing, obviously you've got the energy of that, but then you get the energy of an audience who are enjoying what you're doing coming back at you. And I guess it's my happy place, maybe.
Do you concur, Ross?
Yeah, I would say the same with all the stuff Mike said. I kind of like the thing where you get an immediate answer if something's working or not. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're playing in front of an audience, it's kind of like you can see if it's right. And the feeling of having done a good gig. It's afterwards. It's just a great feeling. You've sort of just the feeling of having entertained people is awesome. Yeah.
And tell me, you're just back from your first tour back with the Peat Bog Fairies. How was that?
It was really good. Yeah. I'd say that the audience confidence isn't completely back yet. So some of the places where we would have expected a certain number, maybe the numbers are slightly down, but it was. They were all great audiences. I remember we were like halfway through the tour and I was saying to Peter, it's like every gig has been totally rocking. And like, to be honest, most of them were were pretty good attendances, but there was just one or two maybe that were slightly low, but on the whole, great. Really, really good fun. And it was nice to play some new music with the boys. We've got some stuff kind of brewing at the moment, so just road testing some stuff, and it'll get developed in the studio and see some of it next year.
Oh, that's amazing, actually, because I know Peter Morrison, the piper in the band, put a sort of funny post online saying something like, "This is our last tour."
Yes, and then like of the year.
Well, I've got one final video for us today. It's a great video. It's a video of Mike performing with Nuala Kennedy at Celtic Connections. Now, I think, Mike, this is something like 11 years ago.
I think it's going to be 11, possibly 12, or maybe even 13 years ago, yes. Certainly about 3 lockdown stone ago, I can say that much.
It's I have to say, it's one of my favourite ever tunes, Alvarada Asturiana, and the fiddler Simon Bradley, who Nuala probably learnt it from, used to play it in the sessions in Edinburgh with Ian MacLeod and all that. And what a great band. Do you remember who was in this band?
Ian MacLeod was definitely in the band. Drummy Donald Hay couldn't make the gig, so Ian Copeland was playing drums. Dana Lynn, fiddle player from New York. Julian Sutton was there. It was a massive extravaganza because it was an album launch. Brian Kellock on keys, Mario Caribe on bass. I'm going to have missed someone, but I think that's I'm giving myself.
No, that's pretty. I don't think you've missed anyone. And Nuala Kennedy, of course, on the flute.
Of course, Nuala Kennedy. Yeah.
A great flute player who lives in Edinburgh, Ireland, and US.
Yeah, she's living. I think she's living in Ennis at the moment. But yeah, she's had spells in Edinburgh and Santa Monica, of all places.
Yeah, well, if you're at home, look up Nuala Kennedy. She's got great newsletters that come out and everything, definitely worth checking out. But this is them all playing this track, and I've listened to this a lot of time, and I've played it to kids that I've been teaching because the energy and the fun that's in this. So this is just a quick clip. That's great, isn't it? Woo! Actually, I was mentioning, just for the viewers at home, to go, I noticed this morning on Facebook, if you go and look up Alistair White, Alasdar White, White, look up his page on Facebook. Actually, he's just released a fabulous video today with a piper, who I actually don't know the man's name, but it's what a brilliant duo. Definitely go look for that. And he's actually just released an EP as well, which is brilliant, of solo fiddle. So guys, thanks for joining me today. Good luck with the nominations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. It's been good crack.
No, it's great. And I can't believe how fast the time has gone today.
That's my kind of clock right there.
Remember, you can read all about the nominees at ScottstradMusicAwards.com, and you can go there. When you go, if there's someone you're going to vote for, look up and down the category, learn about somebody new that you might not have heard of. It's a really great opportunity They've all written web pages about themselves, so you can find out about them and how to contact them. It's a great opportunity. The results will be announced on the 4th of December on BBC Alba, where both Mike and Ross will be. It'll be a great night, and live on telly from 9 p.m. So, thanks very much, and I'll see you the next time.